Wrapping up the 2015 Verizon IndyCar season here at Sonoma Raceway with Dario Franchitti, whose friend Scott Dixon just won the championship. Robin Miller, who's...
I don't have any friends.
He doesn't have any friends, so I'm not sure.
Dixon. He likes Dixon.
You like Dixon, though, right?
Of course I like Dixon. How can you not like Dixon?
This was as improbable as it gets, perhaps.
There's been some pretty improbable finishes, hasn't there, to IndyCar seasons, and just with all the different strategies today that came along, and Mike and Scott and Simmons just nailed it, and they were the right place at the right time. And the good thing for us, we had enough cars that were fast with Tony, with Saavedra, and you know, certainly with Charlie, they're finishing on the podium, that were able to get between him and Montoya for the buffer with points. But to end up on a tie, it's unbelievable.
I was going to say, you know something about ending up on a tie.
Yeah.
1999 Champ Car Championship.
Yeah, I don't, you know, but that to me, that was all more about with losing Greg that day, and whatever happened then happened. But you know, Robin and I were talking about karma, and you know, just what a great guy Dix is, and there's not a more deserving person in this pit lane, I think, as a human being, never mind a racing driver.
Let me take that a step further here. When we saw what happened at Pocono last weekend, Scott stuck around Pennsylvania to take care of the kids, to make sure Julia, Justin's wife, was okay. Talk about karma.
Think what he did for Dan Weldon. He spent 2 months with his family and taking care of the kids, and I mean, that's a special person, brother. I'm not sure a lot of guys can do that to drive race cars.
No, I don't know if they can, because it was that. He went to the hospital, he sees everything that goes on there because he's looking after his buddy and his buddy's family. And then midweek he's got a flick, okay, championship to win here. And you saw that today. He was just flawless. Yeah. The mental strength it takes to do that, first of all, but equally as important, the heart it takes. And he's a good guy. We say it all the time. He's just... my brother sent something out a couple of weeks ago saying, there's not a better human being you'll ever meet. And that's true. And he's a tough... I'm trying to think of a good word here. He's a really tough guy to race on the track. I mean, he gives not an inch. And he's as competitive as you'll meet, and you saw that today. But well-deserved champion. And you know, everybody was racing with a heavy heart with losing Justin. No more so than Scott there. But these guys did what they do. They put on a show, and because they love to drive racing cars.
Surprised by, let's call it a mistake, I guess, that Montoya made.
It was a mistake, and he's the last guy. Dario and I were just talking. He's had a flawless season. The last thing you think Montoya's going to do is drone in the back of his teammate that early in the race anyway. I mean, not even going for anything that meant anything. I mean, I was shocked. I didn't think there was any chance, as mature as he's been driving, that would happen.
You know what? Montoya lost since '99 in sheer outright one-lap speed. He's more than made out in smarts. Yeah. And he just made a mistake today, I think. And but that's the thing. It's a whole season, and there's little mistakes everybody made. Teams, drivers. Some guys had bad luck, and you have the good luck. It all balances out. Everybody looks at this last race, but it's a season-long battle. And Dixon was racing against some good guys and good teams.
He also he said his championship was Dario-esque. He goes, I like it when you sneak in there and take him away and grab him by the throat, but I bet you that Penske plane ride home's a little quiet tonight.
I think it will be. I spoke to the captain this morning, and he was all business. Normally we have a bit of a joke and a laugh. Roger was all business, and I suppose Chip, trust me, Chip's pep talk in the truck this morning, he wanted it, but as all these guys do. You know, everybody in this pit lane works hard, and to beat any of them, you've got to be really on top of it, and the Ganassi organization was today, and the target team.
Last thing, looking ahead to next season, what changes between now and then? I mean, we were hearing maybe a contract for Kanan next year for the 10, or what? I mean, who stays, who goes?
You can say that. TK's definitely going to be back next year, and he said, I want to get to the 100th Indy 500. Well, he's driven like a 30-year-old this year, hadn't he?
He looked great today, too.
So what's going to happen to Joseph Newgarden? If they can stay there, I mean, they've won 2 races. They probably should have won 3. There's probably nowhere for him to go right now. But if I was Chip or Penske, I might sign him and just say, come back in a couple years.
Where are you headed to now?
Where am I going?
Formula E.
I'm going to London, I think. No, I'm going to Scotland. I'm doing a tour of Scotland this week.
There you go.
In an old Ferrari, and then going to Goodwood Festival, and then going to think about next year.
I've been back to Indianapolis. Colts Bengals on Thursday.
Happy days.
I'd rather go to Scotland, I think. For Robin Miller, Dario Franchitti. Day first. What a tremendous 2015 season, and what a way to finish a championship run for Scott Dixon.
Thank you both.